So in Benji's book, he talks about this Sfirat HaOmer as being a period of rectifying the sin from the Garden of Eden. And we're just trying to get back. We're just trying to get back to the Garden of Eden. And he talks about the water cycle. And from the Garden of Eden, there were 4 rivers that flowed. And after Adam was expelled from the garden, he sat in the river of Gihon, one of the rivers. And it says he sat for 7 weeks. That parallels with our Omer period. He sat and prayed and fasted for 7 weeks in water. And it says in the Midrash, until his body became like seaweed. So here we are in this process of returning to our higher selves, our process of tshuva, of return. So we start our Sefirotic flow by opening up into the river of chesed, sitting in the waters of return. And as we approach our yoga mat, the chesed mindset is to be open to all possibilities. We detach from any baggage that may have happened before walking onto the mat. And really unrolling the mat for me is that process of chesed, just opening up to the flow. So we begin by sitting in the river of chesed, just like Adam, but instead of fasting, we are dancing in the Omer. It's a celebration of yearning for our union to come. So let's find a seat with the sit bones planted in the earth. Closing the eyes and feeling submerged by the waters of chesed, loving kindness and openness. And just like Adam became a creature of the sea, he became like seaweed. Just let your body start to sway in any direction with any soft fluid movements as if the river is washing over you. Inviting in the right side of flow and ease, rolling out the low back, starting to bring the shoulders into the rolls, the upper back, maybe even like a full piece of seaweed at the bottom of the ocean, bringing in the elbows and the wrists, the fingers. What does it feel like to be completely surrounded by your source of nourishment? And part of our chesed mindset is detaching from the outcome of our practice. We practice, but the fruits of our labor is not up to us. Whatever comes, comes. It's the state of being, of ease, like seaweed. Let's do some side to side stretches. The chesed is the right arm, so reaching up and over the body. Right sit bone plants down, left shoulder drops. Big open expanse through the right. Chesed is that expansion outwards. And breathe in and exhale towards the other side. Not focusing so much on where your hand falls, but rather just enjoying the openness and the flexibility of chesed, side to side, inviting in the breath. And then we'll bring that seaweed into the side to side stretches. So really circling the whole body, opening up the side body. There's no right or wrong movements, there's just flow. What does it feel like to be carried by the river? And gently we'll transition into all fours, creating a table. So the table of structure, which is Gavura, we're entering the left side of strength. So notice how we bring balance to this table through the right arm of Chesed, the left arm, and the right leg of Netzach, the left leg of Hod. And if you look at the 10 fingers spread in front of you, let's press into the knuckles, spreading the 10 fingers. These are representative of the 10 Sefirot. And we'll tuck the toes behind you. The 10 toes were created in the divine image. So we have the 10 toes, the Sefirot in the body. Pressing all 10 fingers and all 10 toes down. Drop the belly, breathe in through the nose. Shoulders pull back. Exhale, curl and round the spine. Navel lifts. Keep pushing into all 10 fingers, all 10 toes. These divine emanations that were created within us. And breathe in as you tilt the pelvis up. And exhale, curve and round. Keep going at your own breath. How awesome is it that our body was created with these divine emanations? And on the next rounding of the spine, as the navel lifts, gently lift the knees, activating the core. Keep pressing into the knuckles, just powering through the core, and then set the knees down. Inhale, drop the belly. Look in front of you. Exhale, round the spine, lift the knees just a few inches off the ground, hovering. And then exhale, drop the knees, belly drops, heart opens. Keep going like that, following your own pace. Noticing that shift from chesed openness to the inward focus of self-inquiry, of alignment and strength. And that every spiritual discipline requires that commitment of a strength-based, inward-focused, committed practice. 2 more. Now we'll lift up into a full plank, pressing through the heels. This month is the Sefira of Gevura, so appreciating the inner strength that we cultivate when we go deep inwards. Always option to drop the knees. If you find you are naturally a Gevura type person and there's excess Gevura here, bring some softness and kindness to yourself by dropping the knees. And we'll all lower down to the mat, resting the heart. Planting through the pubic bone, inhale, lift the chest. Cobra pose, hug the elbows in, rolling the shoulders back. And exhale, tuck the toes into downward facing dog. Dropping through the heels, lifting the hips up and back. And so the elements are also around us. We have the right side of water. the left side of Gevura, of fire. And let's step the right foot between the hands into a low lunge. Keep that back knee lifted. Left hand plants down, right hand to the right hip. Now come onto the outer edges of the feet. So we're resting the hips down, and then slide the right foot over the left to a side plank. We're still in the Sphira of Gevura. So lift through the right fingertips if you want a deeper pose. Otherwise, if you want some kindness, bring the left knee down. Finding that sweet spot of Chesed and Gevura. And then send the right hand down back into plank. Lower all the way to the mat. Heart rests on the earth. Inhale, anchor through the pubic bone as you rise through the chest. Tops of thighs melt down. Hug the elbows in. Exhale, roll all the way back down, heart to the mat, forehead to the mat. And then let's lift up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the length of the body. Planting the hands and feet into the earth below. Gaze forward and step the left foot between the hands. Right hand plants. Lift the left hand to the left hip. So we're twisting towards the left. And then fall on the outer edges of the feet as the hips sink down. Slide the left foot over the right, side plank. Always option to lower the right knee, or if you want to go deeper, lift through the top fingertips. And this month of ER has so much Gevura and Din, and it's not a negative type of Din, but it allows us to count the Omer each day with that commitment, showing up even when we don't feel like it. Let's set the hand down back to plank. Lower all the way to the mat. This time we'll come to a full upward facing dog, lifting the knees off the mat. Shoulders pull back, revealing the heart. Exhale to sink back, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale, washing the body with presence and awareness, being fully here right now. So we have the right side of Chesed, the left side of Gevura. Let's orient our intention in front of us, the very front of the mat, to Tiferes, the integration. And like Benji said, the winds, the great mixers of the world, and the breath. Bend the knees, gaze forward, journey or hop to the top of your mat, forward folds. So even though our crown is sinking down, our awareness is in front of us. Tiferes, that great harmony, the great merging of the Chesed and Gevura, of the right and left. Bend the knees as much as you need. Let the palms plant down on the mat. And then slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Now gazing in front of you, imagine clouds passing by. In the water cycle, that Tiferes are these clouds of impermanence just floating in front of us. And Tiferes is balance. So let's shift into that right foot. Left foot will slide up to the inner thigh. Inhale, hands above us into a healing tree pose. Teferis is healing because it's about integration. When everything's aligned, that's when we're healed. The alignment of our body parts, of the functions, of our body and soul. And let's drop the left elbow down and then side bend to the left. So we're creating that full moon sphere to the left of us. And we're under the full moon tonight. Some call it the milk moon. And it's no coincidence that the man begins to fall tonight, which is likened to breast milk, that healing, nourishing substance from the sky. So testing your balance here by going a little bit deeper. It's okay to fall. And then reaching back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then slide the knee in front of you. We'll start to kick the heel back behind us into warrior 3. Hands can stay here at the heart or push them back like you're pushing against a wall behind you. And if you want more of a balance challenge, you can circle the arms in front of you, reaching through the fingertips and begin to point with that back toe. Breathe in, feeling the awesomeness of balance of Teferis. And then bend the right knee, left leg will come over the right arm over the left. Sink the hips low, squeeze the inner thighs together, and then lift through the right fingertips high, coming into eagle arms, descending through the outer hips. Finding your breath in this pose. Where does it live and where does it travel? Unravel the arms, step the left foot down. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, pour the heart, hands over the heart and to the earth, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, press the hands against the shins, lift the heart away from the shins. And the body part of Teferis is the heart and the torso. So feel how it rests and balances above the ground. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back into plank. Lower all the way to the earth. Inhale, slide the hands back. Lift through the crown, coming into upward facing dog. Exhale, sink the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, feel your balanced, open heart. And bend the knees, gaze forward, journey to the top. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll vertebrae by vertebrae, sweeping the hands up to the sky. Exhaling, hands to the heart, the Teferis heart of beauty, of harmony. Shift the weight into the left foot and slide that right foot in the inner thigh or below the knee. Hands resting at the heart. And then lift the prayer arms to the sky, like the floating clouds in front of us. And then exhale as we open a sphere to the right, Side bending through that left side body, holding the full moon in the hands, receiving all the ziv. This month used to be called ziv, which means radiance, because the sun has a radiance of healing light. Like we're pulling that into the body. And then lift back up, hands back to the heart, slide the right knee forward, and then stamp the right foot back. Hands can rest at the heart, or you can push like you're pushing resistance behind you to allow the crown of your head to fly forward. Toes pointing the mat. So hug that right hip in, top of the thigh facing down. And then perhaps you'll slide the hands forward, reaching through the fingertips. Breathe in. And then exhale, slightly bend the left knee, right leg over the left, and then left arm over the right. Back of the hands or palm to palm, descend through the hips as you squeeze the thighs together. And you can wrap that right toe around the leg or kickstand it to the side. Nudge the elbows forward and up. And look with the eyes at the right side and the left side, and finding that alignment and integration. Where in your life do you have an excess of gevura? Where do you have an excess of chesed, of giving, of loving? And how can we harmonize and bring those together in a beautiful Tiferet? Unravel the elbows, step to the side, inhale, hands to the sky. Breathe in all the way through the fingertips, reaching high above you, planting the soles of the feet down. And exhale, hands pour down to the mat. Inhale, flat back, push away from the shins. Feel the resting heart. And exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to plank or lower the knees. And then lower the heart towards the earth. Forehead to the mat. Resting in your Tiferet, your beauty. Inhale, slide up to cobra or upward facing dog. Lifting the chin, exposing the heart. Noticing what is in your heart realm today. Who is in the heart today? Let it be felt. And then exhale, flip the toes, sink the heels. Let's bend the knees, gaze forward, and jump or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll all the way up, palms above the head. And let's come into this power pose of the Vav. This is the Hebrew letter of ER. The Vav is the connection letter. Feeling the space above us, connecting to heaven. And then drop the hands, feel the soles of the feet below, connecting to earth. And the channel of the body, intermingling the two, just like the Tiferet clouds or the great mixers, feeling that mix of heaven and earth in your body. So once we have healed ourselves, once we have found beauty and harmony in ourselves, then we step into the world with rightful action. So let's step the left foot back, right leg is forward into a warrior one, coming into our netzach of mastery, of victory, marching forward, sending our truth into the world. And like Benji said, we can fall in yoga, but the Netzach is getting up and taking that first step towards our goals. That is the Netzach of endurance, of persistence. Let's sweep the arms overhead. The torso is forward. You might want to bring the feet wider so both hip points are facing forward. So whereas Hesed is to the right, Gevura is the left, Tiferes is the clouds in front. Now we're bringing awareness Lamala to the space above our head, and that brings us power and mastery, knowing that we're a part of something beyond. So draw the right knee a little deeper over that right heel. And of course, we balance that masculine netzach of going outward and stomping out into the world with a feminine hod of humility. So let's flip the palms and squeeze the palms together, shoulder blades squeeze together. Coming into humble warrior, bow forward. So as soon as we think we're a master and we're taking ourselves too seriously, we bow and remember the hod, the softness and the surrender, the humility and the witness. And whereas Netzach is lamala, above, hod is lamata, below. So we're gazing towards this low place, the earth, reminding us of our smallness. Release the grip, sweep the hands forward, and drop the left knee down. So we're in the low lunge. We're gazing forward. And let's just walk the hands back, curl the toes forward, lengthening over that right leg, hugging the right hip in. Option to have blocks here if you need a little lift. And then walking it forward, gazing in the front. Pulling the right heel towards the left knee as you sweep the hands, lamala, towards the netzach, and above us is the storms, that power that gives us endurance. Breathing it in. Where do we need more power in life, more mastery? Stepping with confidence. And then sweeping the hands down to hold, sinking the hips. Where can we soften and surrender? Hod is the cosmic reflection. So we have the rainbows, the mist, and the rains, all very reflective of the light above. Let's lift the back knee. So we're tucking the toes, lifting the knee, left heel down. We'll sweep open into a warrior two. And this is that perfect blend of netzach and hod, stepping forward, but also retreating back. And Arya Kaplan talks about netzach and hod as the 2 feet walking. And when we can find that balance where we have soft, light feet, a light presence through life, we can feel the feet firmly on the ground, and we can receive the rains, the sweet rains of hod from above. So extending through the fingertips, dropping the shoulders. And we're almost at Lag BaOmer, so let's bring back the bow and arrow pose. We'll sweep the left hand forward, draw the bow in towards the heart, reaching the right arm up towards the sky. So this is a process of coming inwards, of hod. And then we release it into the world, into netzach. Right hand to the top of the shin into a triangle pose, lifting through the fingertips. So we'll try that again. Warrior two. Inhale it forward. Exhale, draw it in, coming inwards, hold. Exhale, shooting it out into the world, piercing into Netzach. Hand lands on the top of the shin into a triangle. Warrior two, one more time. What are you bringing in and what are you piercing out? Our prayers, our desires, our intentions. Let's sink back into warrior two. Circle the arms towards the front. Draw both heels down, coming into pyramid pose towards the front. Draw that right sit bone back and in. Let the heart melt forward towards the top of the foot. Perhaps fold and lengthen the neck. Our breath cycle also mirrors this coming in and going out of Netzach and Hod. We breathe in, we come inwards, we retreat, we find our center, and we exhale, we send our life force out into the world. Bend that right knee as we lunge forward, plant the palms, slide it back to plank. Power through the palms, placing weight in all the knuckles, feeling that gavura, that strength. Breathe in through the nose, exhale, lower to the earth. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Opening the heart, letting anything be felt, letting anything be welcomed. And exhale, send it back to down dog. Bend the knees, jump forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, palms to the mat. Bow and gaze inwards. Inhale as you rise up to your Vav pose of healing, of integration. Exhale, drop the hands down. We'll set the hands on the hips. This time the left foot is forward. Step the right heel back. Left knee hovers over the left heel. Make sure both hip points are forward, otherwise widen your stance. Feel the nice torso of Tiferes. And inhale, hands above the head. Awareness of the Netzach. Just taking that first step towards our goal, knowing that we have a purpose and a mission in the world, and stepping into the light, stepping into our truth. And then exhale, flip the palms, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Fold forward, humble warrior. Don't we all need a little dose of humility, of feeling the sweet rains of Hod? And Hod also means Hoda'a, which is being grateful, thanking our creator, thanking others with this sense of humility. We'll release the grip, hands to the mat. Low lunge to the front, so dropping that right knee, gazing forward. And then exhaling it, walking the fingers back. Heavy on the heel as the toes curl up the leg. Make room in the neck by dropping the shoulders. Feeling the heart press forward. Feels so good. It's probably one of my favorite poses. And then we'll walk it forward. So hug that front heel to the back. And inhale the hands over the head. Once again, towards the Netzach. We can even circle the arms above us, the storms, the power. What brings you alive and brings you a sense of purpose. And then hands to the mat, feeling that humble hold as we orient downwards to the earth. We'll lift that right knee and set the right heel down. Sweep the arms open into a warrior two. Finding that balance of netzach and hod, of stepping forward and coming back. Maybe even follow the arms forward and back and find that center where we're not too far forward, we're not too far back, but we have a nice straight torso. And we'll inhale, sweeping the right palm towards the left, preparing for Lag BaOmer as we pull the bow into the heart, reaching that left fist up like we're shooting a bow, and exhaling, straightening the leg, landing the hand on the top of the shin, rolling the right shoulder up and back and lifting through the right fingertips. So the Rebbe teaches that the bow and arrow really represent this going inwards in prayer and humility so that we can shoot out with more precision and focus and stamina. So let's try it again. Bend the front leg. Reach the fingertips away from each other. And then inhale, sweep the right palm forward to meet the left. Pull it in. Exhale, release, hand to the shin. Try that a few times. Eyes on the prize. I love this visual of that fierce and regal bow and arrow. And when we have both the netzach and the hod together, we can dance under the rain. Last one. Take that back arm, circle it all the way forward. Set the heels down, pyramid pose to the front left foot. Hugging the left hip in and folding over that front leg. So whereas netzach is a light pink, hod is a dark pink. And we can invite either one in by just bringing awareness to this color and breathing it into the body. Let's exhale as we come forward into that low lunge, bending that front knee. Right knee is up. Plant the palms and then slide the foot back into a plank. Nice. Lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, flip the toes, downward facing dog. So we have the right side of Chesed, the water. We have the left side. Let's think about the strength of Gevura, the fire. And then bringing awareness in front of us, the winds and clouds of Tiferes, of balance. And then above us, the storms of Netzach. And then we'll drop the knees and bring the toes together. Sink into child's pose, forehead onto the mat. Coming into the orientation of below of hod. And hod is this place of the earth. The sweet humility and groundedness of the earth. Letting the earth hold us, we'll soften and humble ourselves, feeling the curiosity, the witnessing. And directing that curiosity inwards, being a witness to your own experience. And as we feel the earth holding us, we feel supported. We feel stable enough and safe enough to explore inwards, to see the splendor, as people call Hod, the splendor and the magnificence of the world, of our inner world. Keep the elbows planted, and we'll just draw the heart forward, send the legs back into a Sphinx pose. So from the reins of Hod comes the fertile earth of Yesod. So both are the element of earth. Hod is the reflecting rain that nourishes the earth, and then Yesod is the earth itself, the soil, the nurturance that is below us. So spread all 10 fingers, press down. Make sure that the elbow tips are pulling back and that the arms are parallel. And feeling the heaviness here as we trust in the earth below. Really lengthening the exhale as a way to sink the pelvis down, spread the tops of the thighs as they melt downwards. Tops of the feet are heavy. And Yesod is our foundation. Yesod is coming back home, as Benji said, coming back to the village. So each breath, we come home a little bit deeper. We walk ourselves home, and we find our body as our homeland. And we'll roll the sternum down, full body prostration. So forehead down, send the arms forward. Let the whole front body melt into the earth, becoming fertile soil. Where does the earth land in you? And any imbalances that we've discovered in the Sefirotic sequence, in the counting of the Omer, let that just seep out of the front body. Let the earth hold it. Any excess energies in us, let it fall into the earth. Like we're being held by a great mother, giving us a big hug. And then from the front body, we'll roll to the back. Soles of the feet into the mat, and just feel the back body resting in the earth. And Yesod is this direction of behind us. So this is the proper orientation of feeling the earth under the back being supported. And we have such a deep relationship with the earth below. Let's bring the right wrist or the right ankle over the left. Thread the needle under the inner thigh or above the top shin. Pull the knee in towards the chest, opening up that right hip, but keeping the shoulders sinking down. So even our name in Hebrew, Adam, which means human, has this element of Adamah, of earth. So whereas God, the creator of the world, spoke all of the other creations into being, let there be light, just with the breath in his mouth. First, with Adam, Hashem, the creator, used his hand, so to speak, and from the fertile soil, from the ground, from life herself, created into the human being. So we have this mixture of earth within us. And then, of course, Hashem blew a breath of life into Adam's nostrils. And the Zohar says this breath wasn't just like the speech, wasn't the breath from the mouth, but it was a deep breath from Hashem's innermost self. Just like when you blow a balloon, it comes from that innermost self. So we're this mixture of earth and soul, of divine breath. Let's take the knee and just guide it over to the left. Open the right palm, gazing over the right, sinking the right shoulder down as we twist. And again, noticing where in your body feels like earth and where it feels like breath. Roll back to center, switch the feet. So right sole of foot down, lift the left ankle over the right knee. Pull it in as you interlace the hands behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Letting the shoulders melt down, opening that left hip. Feeling that earth element of groundedness. And Yesod is really, like Benji said, the relationships, connecting with others, of unifying with others. And that starts from feeling stable and safe in ourselves. Guide the knee over the body as you twist, gazing over that left shoulder. The right hand can come over that left knee to guide it down, but keep both backs of shoulders on the mat. And this earth and breath paradigm reminds us that life is not only happening to us, life is not only happening for us, but that life is really happening through us. And our breath is a portal to let that life live and breathe and travel and evolve. Roll it back to center, draw the knees in. And you can come into any last pose here. Perhaps you need a back bend or bridge or full wheel, whatever you need to do. Maybe you want a happy baby pose, opening the heels and holding on the outer edges of the feet, just rocking right and left. Feeling your energies today and what you may need more of. Following that as you tune inwards to your body's wisdom. And wherever you are, you can take your time in your pose, and we'll meet in a final relaxation with the open palms. Settling the back body into the ground. What does it feel like to rest in the breathing body? Traveling from the earth Yesod into Malchus, into the kingdom, as he said, life itself. The mat being Malchus, this open receiver, this open vessel. And whereas all the other Sefirot have a direction, Malchus is the centermost point. So coming into the center. And whereas all the other Sefirot have sounds, healing resonance, Malchus is the silence, letting that silence wrap around you. Receiving all of the Sefirot above her, Malchus, channels, all of these emanations into life, into a new form. So we accept all the work that we've done. And now we become ambassadors of the divine light. Once we've done our healing, we can become teachers and influencers of the world around us. And that is the queenship of Malchus. And let's sweep the arms overhead, full body stretch. And bringing each color of the Sefirot into our mind. So behind the screen of the eyes, let's see Chesed as a milky white color or a silver with a bluish tint. Letting it be seen as it is, but inviting the color, the energy of Chesed, of kindness, of love, of openness. Feeling that white surround us. And you can place the palms anywhere on the body. If there's a particular place in the body that needs extra awareness. So visualizing this white or silver like the moon around us. And then inhaling, breathing that chesed in, inviting it into the body, and exhaling it, washing it through the length of the body. And now we'll bring a visual of Gevura, a glow of red light or gold around us. The strength, the strictness, the inward focus, harnessing power, the self-inquiry and the commitment. Let's inhale, breathing it in, this red glow, and exhale, rinsing it through the body, from crown to the toes. And now we'll visualize Teferis wrapping around us. Some see it as an etrog yellow, a citrus yellow, like the sun around us. So the warmth and the healing of the sun, the glow of healing, of balance, of beauty, of harmony. And inhale through the nostrils, pulling all the healing we need into our body. Exhaling it, washing it through from the crown, down through the shoulders, torso, hips, legs, heels, feet, and toes. Our body in balance and harmony. And now we'll visualize Netzach surrounding us, a dark pink of endurance, persistence, stepping forward into our goals. Inhale that glow of dark pink light into the body. Exhale as it travels through the body. And then circling, hold a light pink around us of sweet humility, of reflection, of softness and surrender as a light pink around us. Inhale.
I know, frustrated.
Pull the breath in through the nose.
Okay, now I'm
Love,
gonna see
baby.
myself.
Don't worry. We love you, baby, but I'm gonna have to mute you. There. So we're pulling it in and washing, hold through the body, softening. Where in life could we surrender? Where could we retreat and take a little step back, give some space to see the beauty, the splendor that we've created? And inhale. Let's visualize that circling of Yesod around us. Yesod is like an orange, our foundations, our earthy soil. Any reparations in relationships we need, anything we need to bond with more, unify with more. Let's inhale that Yesod into the body. Exhale, clearing it all down through the length of the body. And now let's wrap around Malchus, a dark navy blue. Some people even see it as a black around us. The queenship, the purpose, the receiving. Let's feel that royal receptacle. And Malchus is an open vessel that receives in order to integrate and to fill the purpose that you were created for. So inhale, breathe in that regal Malchus into the body, and exhale it all the way down through the body, a wash of royal spirit. And then we'll roll onto the right side, cradling the head in the elbow crease, feeling like we are being rebirthed, created in the divine image, where we can really rectify each creative energy within us to become beings of light. So let's push up into a seated posture. And right before this meet, I found this beautiful correspondence with all the Sefirotic and different forms of light. So like we're going up from Yaakov's ladder, it's not a hard science, but these Kabbalists have explained the Sefirotic in different forms of light. So close your eyes and whatever comes to you comes. But visualize that we're at the bottom of the ladder and we're climbing up to the top. So the bottom rung is Malchus, the Kisei, the throne of light. Then stepping up higher into Yesod, which is called Chaim. This is a living light. Walking up higher to Hod, which is Zohar, a radiant light. And even higher to Netzach, Bahir, a brilliant light. Climbing up the ladder to Tiferes, we have Kavod, glorious light. Up to Gevura, Noga, a glowing light. And higher into Chesed, a good light, Tov. And even higher to Chachman and Bina, the right and left hemisphere of the brain, the Chaim, the living light. And then up to Keser, that space above the crown. This is our infinite light. Doesn't matter what you visualize or what it means, but remembering the power that we were created as beams of light, and we express these divine light emanations into the world. So bring the hands to the heart and go ahead and say any last prayer just between you and your creator, the creator of this light. And there's really not much that separates us between our desires, our will, because we're all just beams of light. So feeling that higher frequency and living from that higher place.